Hello everyone and welcome to Thimbleweed Park. Holy crap, this game actually finally came out. I'm so excited, man. Now, okay, first and foremost, I have actually played about 3 hours of this game already. I played it last night when it came out with my girlfriend. We got fairly far in, we pretty much got through the majority of the first act of the game. So, the at least first few videos in this series are going to be walkthrough-y as opposed to blind. I was wondering for a while about the best way to take this series, and I decided that blind playthroughs of point-and-click games are probably not as entertaining to watch as ones where you can kind of go through the puzzles in the way that I've done them before. You know, that's just sort of a bit of guesswork, though. I was considering giving my first impressions on this game as like a blind run, because obviously you can only give your first impressions once. However, the first impressions that I have of this game from playing it last night are, it is amazing. I actually like it more than Broken Age so far, which is the other sort of high profile ex-LucasArts alumni point-and-click game in recent years. This is the new point-and-click game by Ron Gilbert, the creator of Maniac Mansion and Monkey Island, who he also created the Scum interface that was used by almost the entirety of the old LucasArts games. This is like a fourth wall breaking kind of throwback homage thing. He wanted to create like one that feels like it's a lost gem from 25 years ago that you haven't played. It's really, really good. It's really retro and dead funny and stuff. Good voice acting, beautiful graphics, etc. We're going to dive in. This is the first game of this genre which he's made in 25 years, so you can imagine how long I've been waiting for this thing. And basically this does like what Monkey Island does to Caribbean Pirates and Maniac Mansion does to like teen horror flicks and slasher flicks and stuff. This game does that to Twin Peaks, X-Files, kind of small town conspiracy private detective stuff. It's really surreal and weird and amazing. We're going to go straight in here with the new game. Now, you have choices here of casual and hard mode. Basically, if I understand it rightly, casual mode just takes a bit of like, it takes quite a lot of the puzzles out and makes the game a bit, well, considerably easier. We're going to go for hard mode, of course. I'm an experienced adventure gamer. I want all the puzzles because there is nothing more exciting in life than playing adventure games. You said it, man. Here we go. Thimbleweed Park. So there are a few slides here which show you how to play the game. We've played games like this before, right? You know how these games work. This is one of those games, so we'll just skip this. And in we go. 1987.
I fly halfway around the world and an odd note is waiting for me in my hotel room. It says to come to the bridge down by the river. This looks like the place. I could really go for some Wiener Schnitzel after the long walk out here.
Alright, we are here in Act 1. This is basically just a prologue. It only lasts a couple of minutes, and this just sets up the basic story of the game. The initial story of the game. Obviously, it's one of those things that gets a lot more complicated as it goes on. But this German fella that we're playing as here is not one of the 5 main playable characters in the game. This is just an extra scene. Let's talk to Willy.
I am supposed to meet someone down here. Have you seen anyone?
Do you have any whiskey?
Sober up, sir.
I'm glad Chuck is dead. Ruined my life.
Wake up, sir. I have to go. Sleep well.
We're going to learn more about him later on, and also about that Chuck guy that he mentioned. So we'll walk over here. Now have a look at the amazing parallax here. The bushes in the foreground scrolling and the background. There are so many different planes of perspective here, which for a game with these kind of retro sort of DOS VGA style graphics is amazing. And actually Ron Gilbert created a custom scratch-built game engine just for this. So this is basically his sequel to the Scum engine, and in a fitting way, the first game to use this engine has the kind of Maniac Mansion style bobblehead characters with the big heads and the sort of very exaggerated animations compared to things like Monkey Island and Indiana Jones and stuff like that. It's very cartoon, comic book looking, but I think it looks so nice, and the background art is just incredible. So we have a note here. Boris, I'm glad you've decided this is the right solution to our problem. There are eyes everywhere, so follow these steps precisely. For your own protection, leave your ID in your hotel room. Go to the river down by the Trestle Trail Bridge. Turn off the light above the Trestle Trail sign so I know you have arrived, and meet me at the large entrance to the underground sewers. Make sure you are not followed. Now, every playable character in the game has a to-do list like this, which lays out your objectives so you are never stuck for what you're supposed to be doing. When you get stuck, it's to try and do these things as opposed to work out what you're actually supposed to be doing. Now, we've done, obviously, the first 2 things here, so we just have to turn off the light above the sign and then go to the sewers. Here's the light.
It is too hot to touch. The light is turned on, and I do not see a light switch.
Fine.
I wonder if I can use this rock to put out the light.
Thank you very much. So this game is very good at giving you the information that you need to succeed, whilst at the same time not holding your hand through the puzzles, which is, in this kind of game, an extremely delicate balance to achieve, and it just shows how good Ron Gilbert is at these kind of things. And this is made by Ron Gilbert and Gary Winnick, along with a couple of other LucasArts alumni. Gary Winnick was the other guy who created Maniac Mansion and sort of gave birth to this particular form of adventure games.
There! I've completed step 3 of the note. Now for step 4.
Excellent. Step 4. Oh yes, of course. I forgot to say that you can double click to run. And you can also hold the mouse button down and the character will chase the cursor, which is one of those features which is so useful that I can't believe that it wasn't in any of the old games. But there you are. Walk through these bushes and we should come to the sewers entrance. None of us were prepared for what we'd find that night, or how much it would change us all. Part 2, the body. So this is the first proper act of the game, and it's in a sort of Curse of Monkey Island type of way.
So tell me again why you're here.
I was assigned to the case by the Home Office in Albuquerque.
There is no home office in Albuquerque.
It's neat to know.
Look, I like working a case alone. I especially don't need some junior agent messing up my investigation. Especially some junior agent that thinks I don't know there isn't a home office in Albuquerque. So stay out of my way. Take a lot of notes. Sit back and learn. And I'll wrap up this case and we can both get the hell out of here.
Your reputation certainly precedes you, Agent Ray.
I'll take that as a compliment, Agent Reyes.
It's how it was intended.
I'm sure it was. Let's photograph the victim and head into town to talk to the local sheriff. The body is starting to pixelate.
Body starting to pixelate.
This is going to be a long night.
Alright, that's the first of many fourth wall breaking jokes in this game. Some reviews I've actually read of this since the embargo lifted have actually said that there are just simply too many like references and piss takes of old adventure games. For me, this is just exactly what I wanted, so I can't really share in that critique at all. It's just like there are so many references to the other games as well, like Monkey Island, Maniac Mansion, Zack McCracken, the other games which Ron Gilbert worked on directly and sort of it came up with the IPs. They are referred to constantly in this game, particularly Maniac Mansion. It actually comes to pass, this isn't really a spoiler, it's just something very interesting and very cool. This game actually takes place in the same fictional universe as Maniac Mansion. So it's like you hear characters and places and things from that game referred to. You even see those characters directly on occasion in cameos. There are people who are connected directly to the main characters of Maniac Mansion. It's awesome, and it's not like forced down your throat, so that's what I love about it. It's there if you're looking for it, and if you're not, you'll never notice. Anyway, Agent Ray and Agent Reyes, these Mulder and Scully looking guys here, are the first two proper characters that we can control. Now, the colour of the verbs here shows you which character you're actually controlling at any time, so the brown verbs indicates that we're playing as Reyes. So there we go, we can walk around with him. Very much in a Day of the Tentacle style. If we go up here, we can change to the active playable characters that we have at the moment at that time. So if we switch to Ray, you can see we can control her and so on. And it introduces this concept to you very gently here by forcing you to combine items from both of them in order to proceed. So we'll pick up this bottle for a start.
It's an empty whiskey bottle.
I love her, the actress who does her voice as well. Like the fact that she's incredibly jaded and sarcastic and tired out, and he's like incredibly keen and naive, and together they sort of form one whole personality, or two halves of one personality. It's a classic double act, and it's cool.
Appears to be a male, approximately 40 years old. Looks like he's been in the water for 24 hours. You can tell by the pixelation around the nose and neck. Let's see here. There's no wallet in his pockets. But I found a card, possibly a key card from a hotel.
Now, if you remember when we played as this guy just a minute ago, it said in his note, for your safety, leave your ID in your hotel room. So we will find this guy's identity if we can get into his hotel room for this room 503. Also, this gives me an opportunity to say, a lot of elements in this game are randomised with each playthrough. So the solution to quite a few of the puzzles is different each time. If you've played Fate of Atlantis, you'll know the kind of lost dialogue of Plato thing. It wasn't the same solution each time you did it, it was randomised. So one of them here, the room number, for example, is different each time. And it's good to see that happen so often. Anyway, she has got a notebook which says, got into town late this afternoon, what a dump. I'll try to avoid contact with the locals until I see the body and figure out if it will suit my needs. Long highway, I hope I don't have to walk that again. Arrived at the body, it should do just fine as my cover. I hear rustling in the bushes, someone's coming. Oh great, some other agent just showed up. I wasn't aware the Bureau had been alerted, I need to ditch him. So you can see here it's clear that she has her own agenda in this. Appears to be a male, approximately 40 years old, blah blah blah. Small hole in the back of the head, origins unknown. Hole in the head doesn't look like a gunshot, more like a puncture from a sharp object. His suit looks tailored, possibly European in design. And if we switch to Reyes,
I need to stay focused and solve this murder so I can do what I need to do.
you can see he has his own agenda as well. So there's a lot of thickening plot here. Arrived in Thimbleweed Park from Albuquerque by bus, heading out to look at the body. This is perfect cover. Still walking along the highway, it's a long way from town. Arrived at the body, and Agent Ray is here, which is odd. No one should have been assigned to the case. I may have heard of her from rumours around the office. Might pose some problems for me. Remember to call Mom tonight. The body is starting to pixelate. Ray is going to get on my nerves. Hopefully she stays focused on the case and lets me do what I need to. Same kind of information gathered here. So they are technically partners in this. He has Polaroid camera, which we need to photograph the corpse.
There's no film in the camera.
Okay, and she has a packet of Polaroid film. So you can see here, this is how you give items to one another directly, not like through the chronogens like in Day of the Tentacle.
Oh, I love carrying stuff.
Yeah, you do. Use the film in the camera. Use the camera on the corpse.
Smile! Now we can head into town and find the local sheriff.
Nice. Before we do that, I'm going to just walk over here because in the bushes around here, there is an object somewhere. There it is. Something odd.
It's covered by the underbrush. But it's an old abandoned chainsaw. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice.
We'll grab that. The chainsaw of disappointment. And now it's the chainsaw of expectation.
It's pretty rusty and totally out of chainsaw gas. Definitely not the murder weapon. No missing body parts.
Yeah.
The trail ends here at this huge rock wall.
Okay, cool. So there is an old tree here blocking this sewer grate where the guy was knocked out.
Sounds like someone in the sewer is playing the violin.
Nice.
There are signs of a struggle here. This is clearly a drag mark. The victim was obviously knocked out here, then dragged over to the stream. I don't see any blood, so I think he was actually killed in the water.
Alright then, we're done here for now. We've got the chainsaw of expectation. So, we will zip over here. Now, we don't have to take both of them. For this initial scene moving to town, the other one will catch up if we just go along with her, so we'll do that first. This is the way they came into the town.
I don't see anything up ahead. I think the town must be in the other direction.
Alright. A tuna can. There is lots of junk here in this game for you to pick up. And one of the interesting things about that is that it's sort of an in-joke, in a way. An Atari cartridge there. Because in these classic games you picked up so much junk. In this game, a lot of the junk you pick up is literally junk, like empty cans and stuff. There's an Atari cartridge.
Ball Blaster from Mucus Phlegm Games. Never heard of it.
There is a game company in this called Mucus Phlegm, which is of course a pastiche of Lucasfilm, who did Monkey Island and Maniac Mansion and stuff. What's interesting about this is that when I was playing it last night, I picked this game up and it was the E.T. game for Atari 2600. So even the game title is randomized. It does give it a lot of replayability, because you know it's not necessarily going to be the same items each time.
It's a circus flyer with a crazy looking clown on it. Pretty good makeup though.
We'll take that. That clown is very important.
Signals are very strong tonight.
What signals?
The signals. Signals are very strong tonight.
Yes, you already said that. But what signals?
I'm just screwing with you. Dark night. Deserted road. Me in a giant pigeon costume? It was too good to pass up. But the signals are strong tonight. Very strong.
You're starting to get the impression now of the sort of game that this is, I think, right? It has that very wonky, sarcastic, but at the same time very goofy sense of humour that Ron Gilbert is known for. For a game which actively tries to be funny, it really is very, very funny. And normally when a game tries hard to be funny, it doesn't work that well. Cough cough Borderlands 2, cough cough. But this is good.
You almost ran over a federal agent. That's a felony.
Sorry about that. Like I said, the signals are very strong tonight.
Do you know anything about the body by the bridge?
Why is it whenever a dead body is found, suspicion always falls to the person dressed as a giant bird?
Hey, if the beak fits.
We don't know anything about a dead body, but the signals are strong tonight. Very strong.
Why are you dressed like a giant pigeon?
We're the Pigeon Brothers Plumbing. I'm Beth. That's my sister Emily. Hi there!
Why brothers, if you're sisters?
Dad was expecting to have sons, and he was too cheap to have the van repainted, so we're just rolling with it till he's dead. Oh, soon. Shut up, Emily.
This is really odd. Should I save my game?
I wouldn't worry about it. The game was expertly designed to have no dead ends or death, yet still be scary and have a sense of tension. You can feel safe exploring whatever you want. But I'd watch out for the signals. They can be very strong and disrupt the power grid.
But playing classic adventure games has taught me to save often.
That was true, up until Monkey Island. At least with LucasArts-style adventures. Then the designers realized that death and dead ends weren't making the game more enjoyable. It was actually making it less fun.
There are plenty of digs in this game to the old Sierra point-and-click games like King's Quest and stuff, where you could quite easily be killed. Whereas LucasArts games were always against that, and there were no, very few direct dead ends apart from in Maniac Mansion and stuff. That's what they said up until Monkey Island.
That seems like a sensible approach to adventure game design.
It is. It just takes a little longer and requires more thought and planning. But it really pays off in the end.
I think I've had enough of you. I need to find the sheriff and solve a murder.
Nice talking to you too. Squeak! Woo! Squeak!
No need. The perps are outside.
Creepy. Any more random junk? Yes, there is. Some plastic rings.
From a six-pack? You're supposed to cut them up before tossing them. Saves wildlife.
I'll have that. We can go into Thimbleweed Cemetery now and we can grab another item. I don't really feel like we would need to do that yet because it takes quite a long time to traverse it. But we'll come back there later. There's a bottle. Actually, you know what? No, we'll do that. We'll do that. Don't do this methodically, I guess. We need to come here at some point, so we might as well do it now. You can see here she's like following the cursor. As you can see, it's just a really good way to traverse these areas quickly. And I love the perspective on these backgrounds. How there's so much foreground and background stuff. The path sort of winds over these hills, and there's different, there's these hazy bits in the distance and stuff. It's like the graveyard on Scab Island in Monkey Island 2. Ooh, she got stuck. It's like this Scab Island graveyard in Monkey Island 2, but even more sort of spectacular looking. But I just love how it totally recalls that same sort of vibe. And it's raining really hard right now where I am. I hope the microphone isn't picking up the sound of the rainstorm, but it just reminds me of like playing these kinds of games on a rainy day back in the 90s when I was a kid. I love it. Anyway, we can get one of these flowers here.
A flower from the cemetery.
Nice. We can't get in that tomb yet, but we need to. That is the tomb of Chuck, the guy we've heard about. Now, when that hobo said, "I'm glad Chuck's dead," he was referring to that guy. So we will need to get in there later on, but that for now we'll just take that flower because we need that. Now we have to go all the way back again. Terrific. Keep going. But because this engine is purpose-built, it's just so well optimized for what's going on. Like all the parallax and stuff, it just feels really nice to control, even though, you know, it's hard to go wrong with this sort of thing. If you compare it to like games that are built on AGS and stuff, it's it just feels really, really pro. So someone was watching that happen, by the looks of it.
Wait for me.
Okay, so Rhea's caught up there. And there are 3 main streets in Thimbleweed Park. There's Main Street, A Street and B Street. And this is Main Street here.
Willie's Watch and Violin Repair Shop. Thimbleweed County's most exclusive watch and violin repair. We repair watches and violins for the rich or famous.
Nice. That is Willie, who was the hobo guy that we saw at the beginning. And he said Chuck ruined his life. We're going to learn more about that later.
Closed. Looks like they cleared out in a hurry.
Howdy, I'm the Thimbleweed Park Sheriff. I don't remember calling the Federinos. That's what you are, feds. Hard to miss the government issue suits.
Cut the Mayberry crap. We're taking over this case.
Whoa! Hold your horse-a-rinos. No need to get snippy. Looks like you heard about our little murder-reno out by the bridge, huh?
There is nothing little about murder, sir.
Ignore him. He's new.
No sense in wasting everyone's time, Reno. This cutscene is starting to get long, and it's only gonna get longer. Let's find the coroner and get you on your way. Wrestling starts at 8.
I hope he's talking about on TV.
The coroner is waiting for you in his office. Come see me when you're done. I apologize, Reno, for all the lights being off. We don't stay open as long as you city slickerinos do at night.
Even for a murder?
Especially for murder.
That makes no sense.
Are we authorized to shoot people arenos?
God, that guy is so annoying. We are going to go in here and find the coroner, but we will do that at the start of the next episode. I'm going to leave this one right here. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, the best way to show your appreciation is hitting the like button, letting me know what you think in a comment, and subscribing for more of this sort of content. Thank you very much, guys. See you next time for more Thimbleweed Park. Take care and goodbye.